Hey guys, Chaos Hammer here with some update news regarding Update 18 because we have a hotfix in the works, and normally I wouldn't make a video on hotfixes, but there's actually a lot here, including a changelog talking about what they're going to change. And that includes certain changes to the artillery ability, some of the armor changes, and just stuff like that. So let's just get into it. Now, just to state, and we're going to go from the top of the changelog here, the hotfix is coming next week. They're looking at Monday for the release date, so next Monday. However, they do have a server-side fix that they've launched today. So they've done it to try and address the server crashing issues across all platforms, and that there should be a reduce in server crashes as a whole. But if there's still issues, share your feedback with Team 17 via their Discord page, and at least let them know, hey, there's still crashing issues. And if you're a server owner, your GSP should now be able to move your server into a new version. So for you server owners, make sure you're updating your servers accordingly. Now, let's get into the changelog for the hotfix itself that's coming next week, with a lot of the general bug fixes. Flares being seen by the opposing team. Recon tanks and half-track wheels could not be repaired with a blowtorch. Kill in action screen showed an issue when being killed by environmental fire. The Kubanka hat having an incorrect ribbon and coloring, which not really a big one in my opinion, but so be it. Panther tank has a difficult time dealing with terrain variants. Panther one is a big one. Just gonna sidebar into that real quick, because the Panther is borderline undrivable for anyone who's been living under a rock. Even though when it gets there, still an effective heavy tank, it just clips on everything, and it should not have the issues that it's having right now. So they're adjusting reports of collision inconsistencies and reduced performance with the Panther, and have made adjustments to the vehicle's suspension behavior and physics collision system to align it with its performance to its original specifications. So they're trying to go back and figure out what they need to do to upgrade the Panther, but keep it to what it was before. There was a achievement issue with the artillery strike, and the artillery strike can no longer take out spawn points. So that was a big thing that people were complaining about with the artillery strike, was that they could just take out 3 garrisons. They can no longer take out garrisons. Tank skin preview could be seen through the geometry of all players, which it was weird. You could see the tank outlines like 340 meters away, which is weird. The recoil on the looks is excessive, making it difficult to aim in the autocannon. So they've made adjustments to dial down the recoil and knockback force so you could actually follow up shots. Now that's the general bug fix, and it does cover a lot of different things. They've also made changes to the artillery strike to balance it out. So there's several things that they have made to the artillery ability to just change it. The strike zone radius has been slightly increased, which makes shots more inaccurate. The number of shells that fall has been decreased from 16 to 12. The munition cost per placement is now up to 125 instead of 100. And the cooldown time has increased to 430 seconds. To put that in more simplistic terms, it is 7 minutes and 10 seconds, since 420 seconds is 7 minutes. Basic math. Let's just keep it at that. On top of this, the model used has been adjusted and the smoke trail has been removed, as it honestly looked like a orbital bombardment. So the smoke trail has been reduced. It's just, I think, kind of like regular artillery, where it just explodes. There's no shell or smoke trail, so there's that. Honestly, just giving my thoughts on the subject, I didn't think the artillery ability was that bad. There was definitely some issues, don't get me wrong. I think they just needed to tweak it, and I think these tweaks will do fine. The fact that they can't destroy garrisons anymore, like regular artillery couldn't do, is already a big thing, and they've increased the cost slightly. So if you want to call in 3 of these barrages, it's going to cost 375, which will chew up all of your munitions the moment you call it in, whenever you get it now. Also, with it being a extended cooldown time, you don't just have the ability to keep throwing artillery everywhere, even if you do have the munitions. So I think these tweaks will make it a lot better, and also it's just not going to be as effective. They might have learned a little bit, but we'll see how it is in game, and they'll probably make more changes depending on how this run goes, if I had to be completely honest. Now that we talked about the artillery changes coming in the hotfix, let's talk about armor tank balance. That's next on this list. Nothing much here, but they did say that they're trying to fix the performance issues with the tanks, particularly at higher gear ranges. So the balance between applied braking and thrust during steering has been adjusted to deliver a smoother and more responsive experience. And to continue with the armor update, all tanks have undergone suspension and physics collision updates. These adjustments aim to reduce issues with the vehicles becoming immobilized on uneven terrain or smaller objects, particularly those located directly beneath the tank. This change is part of an ongoing effort to enhance armor and provide a more consistent driving experience for future updates. If even half of this happens, just according with all the bug fixes in this, it'll already make update 18 look a lot better. It's still kind of a black eye, but at least it'll come out to be better now that they've figured out the issues and have at least gotten a fix in. That's just me, though. Continuing on to the last things here for gameplay balance. Following player feedback and testing, several gameplay balance refinements have been made. Blowtorch repair speeds have increased slightly, improving repair efficiency to all components, which when I was actually repairing vehicles as an engineer, a light tank, it seemed very slow, almost at the speed of a heavy tank, which I recall was not something that I realized had changed. It may have been one of those hidden features that they didn't talk about. So it looks like maybe they've brought it back to what it was, but we'll see. Anti-tank launcher damage, which reading this isn't much, but I'll read it anyway. Increased from 325 to 380. It still leaves the amount of hits you need to take out tanks the same, but I think it's more for module damage, so it's easier to take out modules instead of taking out the tank itself. And anti-tank gun damage has been increased from 350 to 400. It makes those weapons more potent against all tanks, particularly heavy tanks, which can now be destroyed in fewer hits compared to anti-tank launchers, which that's big in my opinion. If AT guns can wipe out heavies like they used to, or make it more appealing, it'll encourage more team play, and it'll make AT guns more common on the battlefield, which I think are very underrated weapons. Even if they're fragile and cumbersome, they're still nice to use for long-range engagements. That way, if you have no good tank crews on the battlefield, AT guns can kind of make up the difference. But that's that. They're also aware of other issues reported by community, including client-side crashes, and they're trying to investigate them. And if you got any issues, contact them on their website as well. But that is the hotfix. So there's actually a decent amount coming in this hotfix. Let's hope it fixed the issues. As we all know, this update was, in my opinion, great ideas, terrible execution. But we'll see how it goes. But I hope you got something for this video. Take care, and I'll see you next one.